What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and it's time for some of my strategies. I've been watching a lot of Japan games leading up to this, thinking about things that you can do to defeat certain popular ladder builds. So right now, the big popular ladder build is Amaterasu, and going for early game Kamikaze and utilizing the Solar Shield to get massive amounts of damage early game with very, very little cost. I will note right now that I screwed up. I do have a build for this, and effectively my aim as Tsukuyomi here is to get out 3 Miko in the first age, and I forgot. I basically was using my my muscle memory for playing as Norse to get the Miko out, which is where I will spam my town center hotkey and my my dwarf hotkey, right? But the Miko costs food, so I spammed out 5 Miko or something, and then I started canceling them, and I didn't cancel enough, and I got out 2 right at the start. So in the game, I was saying, wow, this is really bad. I'm going to be advancing super late here because I'm going to have a lot of favor, but I'm advancing super late. I don't mean to do this. I wanted to go for 2 Miko, and then the final Miko that comes out just before I advance would net me something like a 4-minute, 20-ish classical age. But this is the plan. The plan is I need favor and I need these Miko in nice defensive positions such that I can take down those weasels when they come through. And I'm improvising a little bit with the build as well because I had to throw down another shrine, so I didn't waste this guy. I don't think this is the best place for this. I mean, realistically, the place I want that Miko is probably actually here on this wood line. But there's nothing near it, so I couldn't do like a share. So I was going searching. Yeah, this is part of the reason why building the 3rd Miko straight away is not so good. Is because I haven't really scouted. I don't really know much about the map and where to send it. Realistically, I probably could have thrown it up onto this side as well. But regardless, I'm not really looking for mad best favor gain here with the Mikos. Like you can see, I got 0.06, 0.07. Over here is 0.07 as well. I'm actually just looking for good positioning on the resources here, so I can utilize a couple of buildings here to lock off this entrance to my gold mine. I can also throw something down over here to lock this off. Up onto this position where this forest is, I'm going to be able to, you'll see I'm going to be able to defend this with a temple and a wall. I can't show you the wall just yet, but I will build it. So I can build a wall across here so he can't attack my wood line, so that's going to be nice and safe. And then I just have to worry about my food situation and go from there. Now, you might ask, what's all the favor for? You're playing Tsukuyomi. This is the cavalry civ. What are you going to do with all the favor? Well, there is a technology that comes through Inari Okami, the fox, the big fox god. The big fox god. I was getting confused on Inari Okami. So Okami is by itself, it means wolf. I was getting confused. I was saying, was this the fox wolf? Inari also means god of harvests or something. I don't know. But anyways, I should put this around. When I'm going up through Inari Okami, I'm very late. This is like a 5-minute advance time. I'm very, very late to the classical age. This is not ideal. If my opponent here was going very hard on this advance and sending the weasel in straight away, you can kind of see that he's moving across the map now. He's going to be in my base causing problems. I'd have a lot of trouble here. Now, the other thing is, I want to be spending this favor right away. But because I'm advancing so late, I actually get these kitsune out. And I don't actually need... I'm not going to have the favor to spend on things like spiders, which is what I actually want. I want a handful of kitsune, and then I want to get a couple of Joro Gumo as we get to the next stage before the weasel actually gets in here. So I actually want to build one Joro Gumo here as well. But For whatever reason, I'm a little bit confused about what I'm trying to do. I see these units in, and he's charging in. And at this point right now, I want to use my new moon on the temple so that I can get this tech. You'll see it. I'm chasing this guy down. I should have already grabbed it. I'm missing out on a lot of resources. Now the Ivory Kitsune comes in right now. And this Kama Itachi, while he's idling my 5 villages here, I'm actually going to start getting a ridiculous amount of gold. You can start seeing it going up here. He's going to drop the solar shield. He gets a villager. This was poorly played on my part. I should have just ran for the tower. But I get these guys surrounded. This Juragoma was supposed to be attacking the spider. Unfortunately, I lose to Nine-tailed Kitsune here. This is not what you want. I want to keep these guys alive. But I will kill off the Kama Itachi, and I will get myself a ridiculous amount of gold right now. So now I can move over here and actually drop a town center. Right, so I got a lot of stuff here. I did get the Jorogumo also through, and this guy was late. I wanted to build that during New Moon, so it comes out immediately as well. But I screwed that up. So there's a lot of there's a lot of like growing pains. I'm still trying to learn. I'm still trying to get to that next level. And now the next part here is the usage of the Nine-tailed Kitsune to delay the Kama Itachi while it charges in. And I'm going to be able to get this one almost dead. And then he drops the solar shield, and then I run for the tower. And now we're just getting more gold. He's running around here. I'm gonna leave this one. I'm like, okay, he can't really get anything now. I don't really care. I probably should have just kept chasing with the Kitsune. But yeah, we just chase this guy around and get some damage done. If he wants to come back over onto the gold mine, I'll happily just idle that. But just charging around with my Miko to get the damage done, and that's gonna be a dead Weasle, a little bit more gold for me. And like I said, I don't mind him getting a special attack off. I can just heal that up. I get my town center up, and we're good to go. So now I'm getting scouting information. I need to know what he's doing. I see the double dojo. I don't think, okay, so Amaterasu doesn't really know what, he does come over here and he's causing some problems for me. Amaterasu doesn't really know what a cavalry unit is, on the fact that he has, she has zero bonuses for cavalry. But I think I'm still scared of what my opponent's doing. I need to make sure they're not doing anything funky. If he goes for cavalry here, then I have to actually adjust my strategy. But he's going for the samurai, which is basically, this guy's playing, basically playing standard at this point. I need to get these guys healed up before I go back over onto the Kama Itachi, because he can just turn and shank them and they're going to die. I'm trying to be cute with it, but realistically, I just need to keep these guys alive, and I do manage to do so. As the Kama Itachi comes back onto my gold mine, I have nothing over here, and the Miko is there, and that's going to be another dead Kama Itachi. Like, he's not losing anything for this, but I'm gaining so many resources for him doing this. So it's like the ultimate counter to the Goshin Boku. He gets no losses except for the favor on using the solar shield, but I'm getting gold. So I'm like, great, keep sending it, keep giving me resources. This is amazing. You can actually see that my score is in front of him. We're both 2 town centers now as well. I make a bit of a mistake here. I didn't realize that the On the Musha were 4.5 speed and my Juragumo is only 4 speed. I mean, this is also the Kitsune here. This guy goes quite quick. I should have sent this guy with Kitsune. Goes up to 4.4 speed, but still that would have died to these On the Musha. So don't do this. Big mistake. Raiding with the Jorogumo versus Amaterasu is not what you want to do. Just use it as defense and save it for later. He does come over here and hit me, and I'm going to be going to the Heroic Gate. So you'll note, I saw the dojo. I know that the dojo slow moving, or the units are slow moving, and he's not going to be able to get really much done. He doesn't have access to any siege in the classical age. If he does come and try and charge into me, I can just grab myself watchtowers and be fine. So now we're going to go Heroic Age, and I'm going to get some more gold over here. I'm going to go Heroic Age, and I'm going to start looking to counter these samurai, which the hardest part about killing the samurai is the fact that they get their upgrades really, really quickly for free. And they don't want to spend any resources on them either. As he charges through here, he's actually going to lose the samurai to the town center. I have to run off this wood line. So he does use the solar shield there, no problems. So I have to run, and I'm going to have to start getting some units out. I do get the Oni here. So this is another unit that's going to be starting to contribute to my gold fund. And I'm going to start going into the counter to Samurai, which is Yumi Horse Archer. And like I said, these Yumi Horse Archer, they really are a counter to the Samurai only in the sense that there is a timing here, that they're better than the Samurai. The Samurai will never be better than the Yumi Horse Archer, but when you combine them with Shinobi, then life starts getting very, very tricky. And when they get all their upgrades, life gets very tricky as well. So I charge forward here. I just want to get some kills onto these samurai here and get some more gold. You can see my gold is still pumping up, even though I'm spending it all right on these Yumi Horse Archers. He gets some kills on my Kitsune. Bit of a miss micro. This Civ is this strategy is really, really high skill cap. The Kitsune are very, very fragile, but have a ridiculous amount of speed. And I also want them in my army to speed my units up. So it's tough. I'm building Kitsune here as well, because these guys are at 5 speed at the moment. You can get this technology here, which is Gale's Wind, which makes them go up a little bit more. But if I just get my Kitsune in, then they go up to 5.3 speed anyways. So it's kind of better to have the Kitsune plus Horse Archer than it is to get Gale's Wind in terms of speed, because I can go up to, I think, 5.6 speed if I get 2 of them in. So I do spot this. And now the other tech here that's really important when doing this strategy is to get ballistics, because otherwise you're not going to be able to shoot and scoot and space these units here. As you can see, he charges forward. Now I can just run. And as we retreat, you can see that the hard part here is this Kitsune. I want to keep it in the army, but I don't want it to be attacking. Otherwise, it runs forward and then it dies. So that's going to be the big micro trick. I don't really have an answer for it just yet. Maybe box formation or something, and the Kitsune goes into the middle. I don't know. They own box formation, so I don't know. I don't know what the answer is just yet. Maybe maybe you can set them to no attack stance or something, and they won't charge in. I don't know. But anyways, he does get some stables up as well. I'm not sure what those are for. He wants to deal with my Yumi Horse Archers, but I'll build some cavalry and it'll be fine if they start coming out on big numbers. I got the counter to his with my own Naginata riders. But at this point, I've hit my timing, right? I've got the advantage. I'm putting him into his box here. He has to turtle up, and now I can look for the next part here, which is what's the biggest weakness of the Yumi Horse Archer? Well, it's the Shinobi. And how do I counter the Shinobi? Well, Shinobi has got itself 7 speed when it uses its special. So I need a defensive location that I can retreat and I can garrison in and I can get away from the Shinobi. So I need to send villagers forward and I need to get a forward castle up somewhere. Now, ideally, the castle on a forward gold mine is going to be exactly what I want. That was such a big amount of damage there from those weasels here. Not ideal from me, but so long as I kill it off before the next special comes in, it's okay. He uses Solar Shield. I'm never upset about Solar Shield coming down onto a unit. It's a big favor spend. And I'm going to just charge forward now and look for this forward castle, pick off these guys, and I'm going to start getting my gold in from my Oni and my Juragumo. Happy days. The other thing here is, okay, so the other thing is with the Shinobi, what's another option to counter them? It's you could go Samurai. Samurai will counter the Shinobi, but then they're also going to die to the enemy Samurai. So it's kind of not ideal. I could go Naginata Riders, which while they aren't amazing versus the Samurai, at least they're not getting taking bonus damage, and they do have low hack armor, so they're going to take a lot of damage there. But realistically, the other counter here is actually to make a whole bunch of Oni. All of a sudden, the Oni are going to be countering the Shinobi. They're not going to be dying to the Samurai. So this unit is really, really strong here. Unfortunately, I think I don't really know this in this game. I'm still theory crafting and things like that. But if I want to go into that, as we get the castle down, he drops this Thunderdome. It doesn't actually do a whole lot if there's no units here. So I'm like more than happy to just sit here and just face tank the Thunderdome. He gets some units to come over, and I just want to finish this castle with as quickly as possible. If I get the castle up, I can start garrisoning. He's got a whole bunch more units. A little bit surprised to see all this. I lose a lot here to get this castle up. I was probably a little bit greedy and probably should have just put it back here. But anyways, we get our castle up, and now I can start garrison microing while I get more units to come forward and help me out. And yeah, this is messy, but he is fighting underneath the castle, so I'm like, this is fine, all good. Like if he wants to stay here and get this damage done, or take this damage from the castle, it's fine. And yeah, and as his samurai, his shinobi don't have the special ability, he's gonna have to retreat. And I've got position on this gold mine, so he's gonna move over onto this side, no problems. The castle here isn't really about gold control. It's more about having that defensive location that I can poke, I can retreat back to. But if I can get over here and get some damage done, it'll be good. Unfortunately, I'm too slow, and the castle will 100% be up, so I can't pressure this. So he gets a gold mine, the game continues, and that's fine. One thing you'll note here is I did actually buy my cavalry upgrades. Now, I'm not 100% sure on how this works, but if you let the Bushido give you the cavalry upgrade for free, then I don't think it contributes to your Bushido. So I am on Bushido tier 3 already, but I bought my cavalry upgrades. So that does give me extra Bushido as far as I'm concerned. I'm also going to think about getting Tenshu here because this boosts up my fortress damage, so that can be a little bit stronger. And I'm going to start sieging the town center with some of these crossbow dudes. But yeah, at the moment, I'm scared of shinobi, I'm scared of samurai, but if you see the army, we are mostly going cavalry, and we are mostly going for Yumi Horse Archer, and I go box formation as well so that the shinobi can't flank me, or like surprise me while I'm not looking. So yeah, we're just looking for any sort of harassment onto the enemy army. If I can just snipe some dudes, it'll be good, but he does have them in somewhat of a defensive position, and he's now going for Raiju, which are quite scary, but I can somewhat space them, and if we can snipe some samurai, we're in a good spot. Funnily enough, we're actually really close in this game on Bushido, so I think considering how strong Amaterasu is in grabbing this Bushido stuff, I'm actually feeling really good inside of this strategy, like, and how fast I'm getting my stuff as well. But regardless, he's going to charge forth. The Raiju, they are DPS machines, but they do die pretty quickly here to the high base damage of the of the Yumi Horse Archer. And so long as I'm shooting scooting here and staying away from this, I can charge for the castle and start garrisoning in, retreating over to the other side, and he can't really fight. So we win another fight there, and I'm slowly starting to get really far in front in this game in terms of kill loss, in terms of resources. I've got more villages than he has, so it's more income. The only thing that I think that I would prefer to have done right now is have 6 Miko out. If I had another 3 Miko, then like you can see this guy over here is getting very small amounts of favor. You're still getting favor. You died over here, or I moved you over onto this side, so you're getting a small amount of favor as well. So having a couple more Miko out would allow me to get some more Oni, which I do think, especially because of the fact that I've got that Ivory Kitsune technology. Sorry, Ivory Netsuke technology there. It's just value. Like, I'm just getting so much value from them. Sure, he's building some heroes, but I can just focus fire them down with the Yumi Horse Archers, and he's going to have some trouble here. But at the moment, he's just kind of struggling to get units out. I'm at full pop, and I can just keep on sieging down the town center. I can go for a 3rd town center here, or maybe take this one as well. There's not really any need to rush Mythic Age out, in my opinion, with Tsukuyomi. If you take a look at what you've got here, sure, Sacred Gate, no problems, or Watatsumi, also really good, but you do need to have full bronze before you go for that Sacred Gate, because you want to be using the 2nd charge of New Moon on the armory, the full iron immediately. Or if you go Watatsumi, I mean, you can rush Watatsumi out because you can kill off a bunch of units with the Typhoon thing. But anyways, he charges back in. He's got those Raiju yet again. I do have one Daimyo out, but it's not a good fight for me. I gotta pull back. Half my units are idle as well, chasing around this guy. And even though these guys aren't heroes, they do a decent amount of damage to this guy. He is expensive, like, so you can kind of deal with those myth units just by pumping out chariot archers and things like that. Nonetheless, we get more Oyumi out, and I go out of sync. All right, so unfortunately we did have an out of sync there, and yeah, it's just something that's happening, so it just needs to get fixed up by the devs, unfortunately. But I do have the sort of recording here, or the POV. So unfortunately, I can't show all the other things going on, but I am grabbing a third town center. I still have full population army. He's got all the shinobi out, but as I see more shinobi, I make more Naginata riders. And they're not an amazing counter to the shinobi. They do fine against them. Like, you have to remember the shinobi is like a 4 population Huskarl, so it's worth 2 Huskarl inside of itself. But they are very, very squishy for 4 populations. So they got a huge amount of damage. But if you just make sure that you've got a front line, then and you don't get flanked, it's going to be fine. But he's just continuing to get those Raiju raids off. But we're at full villages. It's not a big deal. It's just have to defend against them and keep on fighting underneath my castle here, and we can take the rest of the map. My macro kind of goes a little bit wrong here, but you know, that's just what happens when you're kind of playing these sorts of civs. It's like when you're playing as it's what happens when you're playing as like Set or Ra as well, and you go for like mass chariot archers. There comes this point where it's like, oh, I actually don't need to build any more chariot archers because I have plenty of them, right? So I don't need to have 30 villages on wood anymore. So you have to take them off in anticipation for that sort of situation. And you can see over here that while my Naginata riders aren't necessarily beating his samurai, well, they are actually beating his samurai. The Yumi horse archers are there to help as well to finish them off. So it's a really, really nice composition. It's a nice little strategy there to kind of deal with what's going on with Amaterasu, what's going on with this ladder strategy. So yeah, it's the counter to the Weasle strat, because you're fine with idling your villages. It's pretty high skill, I'd say. You have to track the weasels coming in, attack them with the kitsune before they hit your base, so you're getting some damage. If he turns onto you and starts attacking you, you just run and you heal. You make sure you don't lose any of them. You also don't want to lose any villages, so garrisoning them fast. And then you want to just sit there and target the weasel while the solar shield is going on with your spider lady. And you just get a ridiculous amount of gold from it. So you've shut down the strat. You've shut down the idea of just I don't care. I've got a solar shield. I don't mind. I've got Goshinboku. I can just do that, and I don't care if I lose the dude. As long as I'm getting idle time, it's value, right? It's not value. You're giving a bunch of resources over to your opponent. So you've shut down that strategy. Now, in regards to like other civs dealing with this, what can you do? That's the big question. So like if you're playing as the Greeks, you've got Heracles to chase the weasel down before he jumps in. So you want to track it with a Katoskopos or with a Pegasus and hit that one beforehand, or you got Achilles or you got Atalanta, so that can shut it down. So I think Greek is kind of fine so long as you're attacking the weasel before he gets into your base. With Egyptian, you want to make sure you're getting your base set up nice and quick with those houses, so it's really difficult to get into your base with the weasel. Get out a bunch of priests as well, so you can heal up the villages while the solar shield is going on. And with Norse, you've obviously got the Herser, similar sort of idea with Japan, except you're going to be using Valkyrie to chase the weasel down and use your Herser to clean them up. So you want to give a little bit of stuff there, and you want to make sure that you get your base built nicely. Atlanteans can utilize the Caladrier to slow and heal during the thing, and they can get some Miller heroes out to deal with that as well. And finally, China has got either Earth Wall or the Pioneers are totally fine against this Weasle thing. You have to sort of just sit there and block the entrance points or get Nijar out. Nijar is totally fine versus the Weasle as well. Anyways, hope you guys like this one. I do like my horse archers. They are overpowered, no matter what. And in the same sense, I hate my horse archers as well. So I don't like playing against them. I love playing with them. It's a love-hate relationship. But this is my idea here for Tsukuyomi against Amaterasu at this point. I think it's a good idea against other civs as well. Let me look through what maybe this strategy can work first. Versus Greek, I think it's really good. You're probably not going to go into spiders all too much against the Greek player. You're probably going to go more into the kitsune, the wolf, the foxes, and you're just going to raid. So you get yourself the gold from raiding. Even if I don't pick off any villages, it doesn't matter. I'm giving myself more gold. So you're just running around trying to get as much damage as you can, and running away once the heroes come through. Then obviously you're going to go into your cavalry and things like that afterwards anyways. If I'm playing versus Egyptian, I don't know about this strategy versus Egyptian. Maybe you can do the Kitsune raids. I'm not sure. I think the priest is just going to be a little bit too strong there. They're just going to get out 5 priests and just position them where they need to be, and you're not going to be able to charge, and you're just going to lose the Kitsune too easily. Against Norse, it's probably pretty good to make the spiders. They are slower than the Herser, but very, very useful in a fight as well, especially because you can make samurai to deal with Herser, and then spiders can help against everything else. And then when you take a big fight, you get that big gold influx. And also you can make some Kitsune to run around and raid. And then against Atlantean, probably not the best strat against Atlantean. They do have the Caladria. They do have Prometheus as well, so they can heal up they can turn their villages to heroes, turn around Shank. That's going to kill off your Kitsune as well. And then against China, probably not the best idea against China either, because they've got those heroes that are those pioneers that they want to have anyways, and the Nijar, and they've got Earthwall, so they can set up the defense already before anything even starts. So yeah, but it's an interesting strat. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this sort of a video. We've got the JJJ starting today at 1900 GMT, so tune in on the YouTube stream, tune in on the Twitch stream as well, and I'll see you in the next one. Make sure you subscribe.